Alright, what's up my brothers and toxic gamers? Grab your pitch and forks because the Sony ponies are here, the Xbots are here. I'm seeing so many Xbots be mad at IGN. They're calling IGN, they are biased, and so many Sony ponies are saying that you're just giving it way too high of a score. So there's literally no winning. We are talking about first world problems out here. Metacritic, however, got a meta score of 87, and that's pretty good. I mean 87, I mean damn, right? In 5 days from now, we already know toxic gamers are gonna be able to review. That's when we're gonna be getting the real reviews, right? And it's gonna be quite interesting, but we're gonna actually take a look at it, right? Is IGN gonna give it 2 out of 10? Oh shit! Are they gonna give it 10 out of 10? We're gonna roll this video. We're gonna check it out because a lot of people are calling them out, and it's gonna be really interesting. Like this video, subscribe if you're new. I'm also doing a PlayStation and Xbox gift card giveaway. If you're interested, check out the top pinned comment below. You enter once and you enter for good. Just make sure you like and sub, and let's check it out.
All right, everybody, strap yourselves in. This is gonna be a bumpy ride.
Shields ready.
I feel like I'm the kind of person Starfield was made for. I loved Bethesda's last single-player RPG, Fallout 4, maybe a bit too much. There's nothing I like more than a sci-fi universe with spaceships, lasers, and political intrigue flying every which way.
You have my agreement.
Political intrigue, bro. Biden out there ruining America. Trudeau out there ruining Canada. We do not need a new, like, we don't need anybody else to ruin space economy, bro. I just want to be selling Nesquik in space, bro.
And yet, a dozen hours in, I was feeling lost in space.
Okay, I mean,
Things never went too far off course while I was flying my rinky-dink little ship around, chasing down mysterious artifacts and war criminals with a damn fine crew of companions at my side. But man,
so far the review seems kind of good. It seems kind of like odd, but people did get mad, so we need to find out why people got mad. Let's
Starfield make me work hard to get through that opening stretch.
You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Even when it mostly righted the ship and I was loving the story, side quests, and launching boarding parties on enemy ships, there were still too many problems that constantly popped up, forcing me to curb my acceptance.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think this is the one, boys. This is the one. This is why people got mad. But we're still 47 seconds in, buckos. It's just getting started out here, bro.
It's a bit like Starfield's own elaborate shipbuilder tool. Even though you can slap together a bunch of high-end parts and it will technically fly, sometimes it's just not the best fit.
Oh yeah. Alright, IGN. By Dan. If you want to point your fingers at Dan. Point your fingers at Dan.
I'd expect no less, but Bethesda has built out a sprawling universe with detailed lore. I wouldn't call it especially distinctive. It's reminiscent of universes like The Expanse and Firefly, and full of references to every sci-fi movie from Aliens to
Yo, that's Cyberpunk 2088 right there.
Blade Runner, and of course Interstellar.
Yo, Interstellar was one of my favorites.
There's a significant similarity to what Obsidian created for 2019's The Outer Worlds. But the story of how humans abandoned Earth and colonized the stars is so densely packed in, with more around every corner, that I found it easy to get invested in.
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space.
Once I learned the difference between the United Colonies.
We all here because we are committed to explore space. Yeah, okay, I see you. But can a brother perhaps sell Nesquik in the space? Bruh. That's all I'm asking, man.
Colonies in the Freestar Collective.
Is there Nesquik out there?
To provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace.
Regardless of which background
that's lies. They will not provide you security
option and starting skills you pick for your character, everyone starts out in the same mining camp and touches the same space magic that sets off a trippy 2001 A Space Odyssey style vision.
Damn. Okay, so far decent. What is that one thing you really love so far, and what is that one thing you really hate so far?
But after that, Starfield is an immense game that will send you off in all kinds of different directions once it hands you the keys to your first spaceship. It's to the point where talking to others who have played alongside me has left us all bewildered.
Wait, what do you mean you don't know who the Vanguard are?
Wow, you didn't unlock that until level 20?
Man, every time they talk about Vanguard, whenever Slickers talk about Vanguard, I get reminded of the Call of Duty Vanguard situation, the Vanguard situation. Don't ever bring that Vanguard situation in, bro.
Money?
You met who in a bar?
Your new best friend on Neon.
You can easily fall down all sorts of wormholes into extended chains of missions that take you on adventures that rival Skyrim's in scope. Even after about 70 hours, there are major quest lines I haven't even touched, and others I've left unfinished. I'm eager to go back and pick those up now that I've completed the main story.
You know there's more to come.
Bro, that's a Starfield leaker right there.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Like without here, bro. Yo, the Starfield leaker ended up getting arrested because not because like he leaked the gameplay, but because he stole the gameplay, stole the games, and then leaked it, right? So damn son, they definitely put him without hair right there. Oh snap.
In typical Bethesda fashion, that main quest itself isn't terribly flexible in how you can resolve the situations it thrusts you into. Your options here are, for the most part, about picking whether you want to be a Boy Scout for whom a good deed is its own reward, a wisecracking mercenary who asks to be rewarded after doing a good deed, or an all-business mercenary who demands to be paid up front to do said.
Okay, so far the biggest thing that I'm noticing is that the character faces are seemingly, it looks like AI soulless, right? The NPC faces, okay, that's one of the things that I don't like that much, but will this game gonna be, I think it's an RPG, right? So it's probably gonna be where you interact a lot. My first RPG, and that's not a good example, buggos. My first ever RPG was Cyberpunk though, and we all know how Cyberpunk ended up. Right now it's pretty odd. It's getting better and better. It's about to get a new DLC. I'm kind of low-key excited for that. We're gonna check it out. But so far the NPC faces are off, right? You guys feel that way, or you're like, nah, that's fine. But it's an RPG, right? Most of the time you're gonna be gaming, and it's gameplay heavy, so you're gonna be going different planets. So that's the main focus.
A good deed.
I'll say right up front that if you're looking to get rich, this ain't the line of work for you.
There are a few life and death choices, and there's a decision at the end about which philosophy to embrace before heading into the final battle. But most of it is going to play out the same way because, no matter what, your goal is to solve the mystery of those artifacts alongside your secret society of explorers known as Constellation. I won't say much about where the plot goes because it's way too easy to spoil, but I did enjoy the way it probes its biggest concept in distinctive ways. And there's plenty of well-written discussion about what it all means.
Yeah, these are the main characters, so they look way better. They look already way better, right? These are the main characters.
Out of here, Dusty.
Makes sense.
You're on to bigger things.
It's in the side quests that you really get to act out your character's morals and choose to resolve.
Yo, she has that bruh. You see what I mean, right? Like the faces are soulless though. Yeah, that side chick, that's probably why.
Conflicts peacefully or just by killing and robbing innocent people. There's a storyline that felt very Boys from Brazil inspired, as well as numerous related quests about hunting down war criminals that pose ethical quandaries to reconcile.
If it dealt death, he could make a deal more.
You can even join up with the Crimson Fleet pirates and dive into a life of smuggling and general space crime. It seems like it would take hundreds of hours to explore them all, and there sure are a lot of options. I wouldn't say I've encountered anything just yet that's as spectacular as destroying Megaton in Fallout 3, but Starfield has its moments.
Yo.
There's no shortage of interesting companion characters to hang out with throughout all this. There's definitely a focus on Sarah, the virtuous leader of Constellation.
Don't think we can't find another way to get what we want.
And Sam, an angsty former lawman with a young daughter who he's always worried.
Red Dead Redemption 50, boys. Here we go, boys. Yep, Red Dead Redemption 50. I mean, they did it before Rockstar Games. These suckers did it before Rockstar Games. Rockstar Games, where is GTA 6? Where is GTA 6? Can I brother see that Lucia Brunda be not get nerfed in the final version of GTA 6? I'm pretty sure they nerfed that too, bro.
We'll see him as less than perfect. However, I was richly rewarded by taking the eccentric scientist Barrett along with me on some missions.
You're part of this now.
And I suspect the others hold a few surprises up their sleeves as well. But you can only take one with you at a time, so I have more exploration to do here as well.
We waste time. We should complete our mission and then we can talk.
It helps that.
Yo, IGN, show some gameplay, dog. Like, I get it. Like, you want to show faces, but show some gameplay, dog.
Bethesda has certainly upped its facial animation game for Starfield. Sure, it's nowhere near as lifelike as motion capture performances we've seen in The Last of Us and God of War, but generally, it's expressive enough that it can do justice to the excellent voice performances.
Looking a little more murdery than usual, but.
Oh, snap! I just realized, okay, I can see why some Xbots are calling them out. They just mentioned Last of Us, and they mentioned God of War.
Oh shit!
Okay, I mean, this is one way to get some fanboys mad, 100%. Yeah, I mean, the faces are not looking that good, but okay, understandable, right? Like, it's an RPG. But show us that goddamn gameplay, IGN. Show me that gameplay, boys. Where's the gameplay?
Say they had it coming.
Okay, finally. I think gameplay coming up. Gameplay coming up.
Starfield's problems, though, are glaring. I have to say that the early hours are pretty rough going, and there was a while there when I was wondering if the stars would ever align. So this review is going to go through that rough patch too. So bear with me, just like...
Okay, I can see why Xbots are calling them biased. Base! And Sony ponies are like, you still give it a high score. How much did they? I know, I actually know how much they gave. But I'm still kind of confused because some IGN employees are giving it 10. Or not employees, but like IGN, I believe Spain gave it 10. IGN français, ils ont donné comme 9 sur 10, which means 9 out of 10, right?
Bruh.
But IGN USA, America, baby, let's see how much they
Like
give
Starfield
it.
itself, it does get better by the end.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Here's the biggest fundamental problem. See this vast map of stars? It feels extremely small when each of its hundreds of explorable planets is separated by little more than a loading screen. It didn't take long for me to realize that takeoff and landing animations are barely interactive cutscenes. They can often be bypassed by just going to the map screen and jumping.
Yeah, this is one of those things, right? Like, I know of this for the fact that Sony ponies, they love cutscenes, and Xbots, they're fine. They don't need cutscenes, they just need that gameplay, right? They just need that, because we were having this conversation, or in fact, suckers were having that conversation. I was watching it from the sidelines, you were watching it from the sidelines. Yeah, somebody actually complained about no ladder animation. I was like, bro, okay, just when you're trying to climb, just pretend you're climbing, okay? Just do this, okay? Just do this. I get it, like brothers want to climb, but just do this, okay? Just pretend that you're climbing, and there we go. You got your animation. You got your I mean, you know, climbing animation, that's not too necessary, but yeah, landing animation could be a little better for sure, if that's his point. I'm not
to another planet without even setting foot on a ship. It's impossible not to compare Starfield's disjointed space travel to the seamlessness of No Man's Sky, and it's a bit of a letdown every single time.
Hey yo,
the next nuisance that irritated me no matter where I roam.
Okay, yo, Stud Muffins meeting immediately. Is he an undercover Xbot or a Sony pony? I don't know your thoughts on it, okay? No Man's Sky, but here's the thing though, Are you comparing that Starfield to launch day No Man's Sky, or like post patch version of No Man's Sky?
Is the fact that there are no actual maps, mini or otherwise. This screen is just not helpful at all. I spent way too much time searching for basic things like vendors to sell my loot to while I tried to memorize the layout of multiple settlements. And I expect most people will just look up community-made maps like the ones that IGN's guide team is working on anyway. Also, like Bethesda's previous RPGs,
I don't think people want to look for IGN-created maps. I don't think that, but community is definitely looking for some community-made maps. That's for damn sure. Okay, I see you. I see where my Xbox homies at. Okay, I see you, man. Sony ponies, stay on standby. Okay, stay on standby. Xbox, I see you, brothers. I see you, man.
Starfield's playtime is roughly 30% inventory management, and yet it's shockingly bad at that task. You'll constantly need to transfer loot between your inventory and your companions, or to and from your ship's cargo hold. But maddeningly, you can't view both at the same time like you can in Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Modders, if you're listening, please help. Those problems never got better during my playthrough.
Yeah, modders, please help, I'm stuck out here, please help.
I just learned to live with them.
Yeah, Mike, what a guy, Mike is he's learning and growing, trying to live with it.
The hump that I did work my way over though is that Starfield doesn't tell you enough about how its huge collection of systems work, and it trickles out the cool stuff too slowly. Out of the gate, you can't mod your equipment, you can't use your essential boost pack, and you can barely use stealth or board enemy ships at all. You can build outposts that are a lot like Fallout 4's settlements, but it doesn't tell you that you probably shouldn't bother with them early on because you don't need huge quantities of a single resource until way later. Speaking of, storage space on the first tier of ships is obnoxiously small for the amount of loot and resources you gather. I resorted to silly workarounds like throwing stuff on the floor of my ship like a space hoarder.
Yo, that actually looks kind of lit though, you know what I mean? Like throwing the fact that you got that much stuff like lying, obviously it's just garbage, just junking over. Can you actually grab it? I'm assuming like it's collectibles item and you can just put it like, I'm not sure how this works, but part of me feels like that it looks kind of good in a way, right? Like, and I'm imagining that you can pick it up. That's why it looks good, but otherwise you gotta clean it up, right?
And resources you gather. I resorted to silly workarounds like throwing stuff on the floor of my ship.
Okay, I think you can pick it up. I think these are resources, right? You see that little dot here? So I think it's pickable items.
Like a space hoarder.
What can I help you with?
Eventually though, all that stuff gets resolved through upgrades and learning the ropes. It's also worth noting that the worlds you explore are generally visually different with varying gravity, but
That's
they're
good.
barren and lifeless aside from the crafted areas you visit in quests. I mean, yeah,
I mean, it's kind of expected that a lot of the planets will be empty, but they said the 100 planets will have life. I want to know more about them, right? Because these planets are definitely going to be for exploration and collecting resources, you know, just like general gameplay stuff. But there will be 100 planets with life. I want to know more about it. Like, are those planets really lifelike, or it's just like bruh mode there too?
Expect that from planets that are mostly untouched by intelligent beings, but that doesn't make them a lot more fun to run around. Outside of a handful of randomly generated outposts full of enemies to raid, all there is—
Yeah, okay, this is one of those things, right? Emergency meeting quick, okay? Okay, on this part, I don't think he's capping per se. I feel like that if the planet is empty, it's just gonna be you just running around in the wasteland and nothing is happening. I know that's realistic. I know that's how the real space works, right? Allegedly, that's what they tell us all the time. That's what NASA tells us. Do you really want to believe NASA? I'm not sure, but that's not the point. That's what they tell us. All right, okay. A lot of the planets are empty, so it kind of makes sense, right? So I'm not even complaining about that, but I feel like that the biggest thing here is gonna be you're gonna land on a planet with no life, and you're just gonna be running around constantly, and you're gonna find nothing and nobody, right? Makes sense, but obviously the point that he's trying to make is that it's gonna get boring, right? And yeah, sure, it's gonna get boring because there's nothing happening. This is why you don't want to land on those planets. You want to land on the ones that has life. But I surely do hope there's at least a gimmick. There is a gimmick of every planet at least once, or one gimmick, not once, I mean, at least one gimmick or something special and unique about that planet, or maybe like a different kind of resource there. I feel like that the planets that are gonna be empty, they're gonna have unique resources for sure. Maybe we're gonna see some planets like that have like same resources. That's fine, because they said that they're gonna have thousands of planets, 1,000 planets. So obviously there will be some planets that will have similar aspects, similar loot, perhaps maybe even two, and it's all right. But I do hope that it's not like 1,000 planets got the same resources. I surely do hope that they have some unique abilities and unique loot and unique people if there's life.
To do is scan trees and rocks or zap them with a mining laser.
We just love rocks.
Or sometimes scan and maybe shoot alien wildlife.
Okay.
It's a far cry from Bethesda's previous games, where you could barely swing a dead mud crab without hitting something cool. And it took a while for me to learn that I could largely just ignore this stuff. There's one part of the main quest that's pretty repetitive too. You're sent to investigate a series of ancient structures, and it's annoying that what you do inside of each one is completely identical. The rewards are different and enticing enough for me to want to chase them all down at least.
Okay.
But after the first few, I couldn't help but wish that Bethesda's designers had taken some inspiration from
at least
Breath of the Wild when it came to creating different puzzles for each one.
Yeah, seeing the light.
So it wasn't until about a dozen hours in that I unlocked enough upgrades that the gameplay started to gel for me alongside the story. Starfield absolutely is one of those games that takes way too long to get to the good part. But the fact that it eventually did get its claws into me forced me to jettison all of the more like Starfield jokes I'd been workshopping out the airlock and focus more on what this sci-fi epic gets right.
Bumblecard!
Okay, IGN surely do know how to get a sucker man. Okay, I get it. A lot of, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Xbox be mad at IGN. Okay, makes sense. But guys, at the end of the day, it's gaming though. Like, they're definitely trying to manipulate you, and they're definitely trying to get people mad. It happens all the time with Sony ponies and Xbox. Y'all brothers get way too emotional over video games though. Like, yeah, we see the BS right now. Maybe he's speaking facts, maybe not so much, but the point here is that, guys, at the end of the day, it's just video games, right? You know what I'm saying? Some will like it, some won't like it, and that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But brothers get way too emotional, and there's no need to get emotional, okay?
Or at least does well enough. Filed under does well enough is combat, which is the solution to most problems unless you're extremely dedicated to the idea of talking or sneaking your way past most encounters with hostile pirates, robots, and wildlife, and anything that looks at you funny.
Look at you funny?
Not bad, and it's kept me happily plinking away with my tricked out laser rifles and shotguns, but it's not especially great either.
Yeah, not
without anything new.
Bumblecard!
Okay, it's okay, but it's not good, but it's good, but it's not good. Dog, just say how it is. Just say how it is. Okay, that is trash. That is banger. That is good. That one, don't like it. My guy's like, yeah, it's good, but not that good. You're literally contradicting yourself. You're literally contradicting yourself. You're literally saying it's good, but it's not good. Dog, just say it's trash. If that's what you're trying to say, just say it. It's trash. It's fine. Not everything is gonna be amazing in the game. Not everything needs to be amazing, but not everything is also gonna be trash. And not every... you know, suckers gotta create their worst to best ranking, or best to worst, worst to best, right? So we gotta have some things that actually suck in the game. Not everybody's gonna like it, and it's all subjective at the end of the day, right? What you find bad, somebody else is gonna like it, and vice versa, right? It happens all the time.
New and exciting to fill the void left by Fallout's time-stopping VAT system, it's pretty standard stuff. To their credit, enemies do react in fun ways, and sometimes they'll flee if you killed off their friends. Plus, the modifiers on epic and legendary weapons and gear have some fun stuff going on that's not afraid to be game-changing. I found a rifle that does more damage as my health decreases, and makes enemies more likely to drop med packs. I found a spacesuit that has a 10% chance to set nearby attackers on fire, and made me invisible when I crouched and held still. That's kinda cool, and there's a lot more where that came from. The other side of combat is ship-to-ship battles, which are also fairly simple as space dogfighting games go. It's never not entertaining to blast away at pirates and watch the pretty explosions. There's some basic power management, but I rarely felt the need to fiddle with it in combat because most of the ships I bought or found had enough power to go around. The closest thing to VATS you get in Starfield is when you spend a skill point on target locking, which is an absolute must-have. Disabling weapons is a great way to even the odds when you're being ganged up on. But
damn, this reminds me of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, bruh. I did not play its campaign though, but we saw, you know, the reveal trailer, and this actually triggered the memory.
Better is when you take out their engines and board them.
Yo, what's gonna be the
Some
rating?
of the best moments in my Starfield playthrough have happened during these raids, as I went room by room mopping up enemies until I gunned down the captain and sat in their chair to seize their ship and its cargo for myself.
Wow.
I'm definitely going full pirate next.
Yo, okay, that's gonna be lit though. That's gonna be lit. If you can hijack like other spaceships around, bruh, that's gonna be crazy. Okay, this is probably gonna be my favorite thing if I end up picking up this game in a week or 2 weeks from now.
Run through, so I can do this all the time. Another highlight of Starfield is the sheer variety of spaceships flying through the settled systems. And the fact that they're so modular and customizable made me want to dump more skill points into starship design, so that I can mess with it more and learn the somewhat complicated rules of how to snap the pieces together to form a space-worthy vessel.
Okay, brother is appreciating. We gotta give it that. Brother is appreciating.
Oh yeah, and the lockpicking minigame deserves a shout-out as one of the best I've seen in an RPG.
Oh wow.
Are there bugs? Of course there are. I've seen a fair amount of model and texture
bug tester
pop in, occasional crashes, performance slowdowns, mostly during autosaves, wonky waypoints, clipping issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this game in about 2 weeks from now if the game is actually... I'm gonna check out more reviews and whatnot, but like the only thing that I see big with this 60 FPS or no 60 FPS characters feeling soulless and empty planets, right? There will be 100 planets that we're gonna be that's gonna have life with it. These are the 3 criticisms for me personally, but that I can also knock down. For example, I can get it on PC, so 60 FPS criticism gone, donezo, right? For me personally, characters, obviously you're gonna interact with them, but they're not always gonna be on your face, so you can knock that down as well. Empty planets is probably gonna be the biggest one, I think. That you
wrong
probably
camera
won't be able
angles
to
during
know.
conversations, the works. I've played mostly on PC myself, but IGN's Xbox Series X players report occasional framerate dips, but nothing outrageous. I have to say, Starfield has been fairly stable for a big, open RPG like this. I never ran into a quest I couldn't finish on the first try, for instance, so its bugs haven't been bad. The results may vary, though. With a game this complex, they always do.
Yeah, I mean, no game is ever gonna come out like 100% bug free, and we're not asking for like a complete bug free. We're just asking for a good product, a finished product, and fun game. That's simple as that. Simple as that. That's all we're asking for. Okay, yeah. Okay, now we about to get that review score. Okay. Is it gonna be 2 out of 10 or 10 out of 10?
Great sign when somebody recommends a game on the grounds that it gets good after more than a dozen hours. But that's very much the kind of game Starfield is, and I do recommend it.
And to think, I almost went for coffee instead.
There are a lot of forces working against it, and the combination of its disjointed space travel, non-existent maps, aggravating inventory management, and slow rollout of essential abilities very nearly did it in. It was the joys of piloting a custom spaceship into and out of all sorts of morally ambiguous situations in a rich sci-fi universe that eventually pulled it out of a nosedive.
I might even let you fly me around sometime.
I'm glad that
She said that she will let her she will let you fly her? Damn, son.
I powered through the early hours because its interstellar mystery story pays off, and once the ball got rolling, combat on foot and in space gradually became good enough that its momentum carried me into New Game Plus after I'd finished the main story after around 60 hours. Like Skyrim and Fallout 4 before it, 60? There's still an immense amount of quality role-playing quests.
Okay, 7, not bad honestly though. Yeah, if a game gets 5, it's like average. 6, okay, playable. 7, good. Okay, 8, very good. 9 would be, yeah, very, very, very good. Let's just say 10 would be excellent. Then it's like, bro, like you cannot go above 10, right? Then there literally cannot be any improvements. 7, okay, that's decent. I know some are giving it 9, some are giving it 10. 7, fair. What's gonna be your rating? I personally have not played, so I cannot give my rating here. Also, click on this video on the screen because this gamer actually went insane. He went absolutely insane, started giving that it's a disappointing mess. Check out this review and I will see you right there.